Hello again, Nate Swaby here at CasaTank Realty and Swaby Estates. So today we're going to take a little drive through the Brampton West area, which is basically west-north. And this happens to be borderline Georgetown as well as borderline Caledon. Now this area happens to be a high developing area, most of which has a lot of area to develop in. A lot of developers love this area because of that reason. Also happens to be one of the higher growth rates in all the GTA right now. Now Brampton's known for having a lot of residential, and this happens to be a large residential area for development. We're going to take you in around the area. There's new developments such as mid-rise buildings. There's of course your detaches, semi-detaches. There's your townhomes or condominiums, and then of course there's your parks and your interconnected pathways, which is great. There's also the GO transit system right over here, which is the Mount Pleasant GO, which has a very beautiful city. Well, it's not really a city, it's more of a town, but you know, it's a very beautiful town that happens to encompass the Mount Pleasant GO area, which is also called Mount Pleasant. So we're going to take you in and around these areas. We're going to show you some of the development in this area. There happens to be some great development coming up, especially there's a proposed highway, which would be a Western Corridor highway. So if any of you guys have, say, cottages up in Muskoka area, this would be fantastic as an investment. Even to live here, you have accessibility on an arterial road, coming and going at a very quick rate. And of course, they have a proposed mall as well in the area, which will be in the Beauvais Mississauga Road area. So these are really great things to look forward to. So let's take you out into the area. Let's show you some of this development, and hopefully you guys can get some great information and ideas.
So we're heading south right now on Mississauga Road. We're going to hang a left at the lights and we're going to head east. Okay, so as you can see on your left-hand side here, there is development that's about to go in. This is actually zoned for commercial real estate, and it's right next to the gas station that is coming up here on your left. Now these buildings coming up on your right hand side, they are more recently built. They've been in establishment about 2-3 years now. Now coming up on your right hand side, there's been a proposed site for Shoppers Drug Mart as well. Okay, so on your right hand side is your Rosehaven urban townhome style. The left is your Fremont urban townhome style, and as you can see there is a crane going up, and that is an actual mid-rise building that they're building. I believe it's about 8 stories high, and this is a new development going into the area. Now on the right hand side, it's more development area for Rosehaven. On the left hand side is more development area for Fremont. So these areas are segregated by this road. Now both projects tend to range in the price range of anywhere from $500,000 to about $700,000. The Rosehaven are a little bit cheaper as the square footage is a little less, so you can get anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 square feet in the Rosehaven. The Fremonts tend to be around 1,400 to 1,500 square feet, and of course the building that's going up can range anywhere from $600,000 to $800,000 as the top floors tend to have penthouses and such. Now, as you can see on the right hand side, there is a very large size park, and that's a community park. And it also has interconnected paths, which is fantastic, so you can get in and out of the neighborhoods very quickly. And what's actually pretty nice in the park, in the summer times, you'll get a lot of teams that come out, anywhere from soccer to football, and there's basketball courts in there, so you have a lot of activity going on in that park. What I do love about the area is it is a safe area, as it has a community center just a little ways down Sandalwood, right by Chinguacousy. And this community center, if you do like the gym and you like to get physical activity, it does have the gym accessibility there. They play sports in there in the summer. They have tennis courts, basketball courts, and of course it also has a community police department right inside Cassie Campbell as well. Okay, so this neighborhood and this zone does have a number of schools. Just in this immediate zone, there's approximately 15 schools. So if you do have a family and you are looking to enroll your kids in school, there is a fair amount to choose from anywhere from public to Catholic and even high schools and middle schools. Now, obviously, this is a very large neighborhood. There's plenty of homes. Brampton is known for residential. What we're going to do is we're going to kind of zip back to the developing side just to kind of give you more aspects as to what the level of development is in Brampton currently. Within the past year to 2 years, It's coming up very quickly. This is kind of the edge of Brampton right now, going up to Mississauga Road. And once this area is complete and filled in, they will start working on the opposite side of the road. Now the detached homes in these areas tend to range anywhere from 1 million to 1.1, even 1.5 million, depending on the square footage of the lot. Semi-detaches still pretty relative. They're in the $700,000 to $800,000 range, depending on the amount, again, of square footage and bedrooms that you might be looking for. Now this area, as you can see, is fairly fresh. There's a lot more coming up this year. If you guys are interested in anything in this area in terms of development, please feel free to reach out and let me know, and I'll proceed to find that information for you in terms of pricing and what builders are building what. Okay, so we're shortly approaching Mayfield. Mayfield is basically the cutoff point from Brampton going into the Caledon regions. So I'm going to take a U-turn. We're going to head back the other way, going south on Veterans Drive, and we're going to head towards Mount Pleasant Go, and I'm going to show you around that area and show you the GO train station that heads downtown Toronto. Okay, so on the right hand side is a park that they're about to complete. It looks fairly large for the community there. On the left hand side is condominiums, kind of town urban condominiums, but the benefit of these ones are the ones on the edge, on the corners, are also capable of being multi-purpose as well. So you can have commercial on the bottom and residential on the top, or you can just use it all residential, whatever you prefer. And these condos tend to range in the $800,000 to $900,000 range. And as you can see there, some people are taking advantage of the commercial space on the bottom. And so just to kind of give you an idea as to what the back looks like, these condos have their parking in the back as well. Across the way on the right hand side, they also have their garages on the back of the houses. So you have on the left side the condominium style urban home, and on the right side you have a unique type style housing with the garages on the back side. Okay, so there's a nice community park on the left hand side there. This area here is predominantly Fremont, and as you can see in the far horizon there is the crane again, whereas we're just kind of following south on Veterans Drive again, leading up to the mid-rise building that they're building, which should be ready sometime this year in 2020. Okay, now as we cross over to Sandalwood, we're getting into more of the Rosehaven builder side. So you can see that houses have a different kind of style to them. On the left, you have more ravine style lots, got a kind of New York style home. On the right hand side is a beautiful new school, fairly new, 1 to 2 years old approximately, St. Daniel Camboni. Another school that I've done some business with regards to school lunch programs for the kids. A very nice school. And we're heading south a little further down. We'll be getting into the Mount Pleasant Go area. On the left-hand side with all the trees, that's a small forest that leads into Creditview Sandalwood Park, and that's the park that we passed by earlier. As you can see, there's a path leading in there. Again, these are interconnected paths that go all throughout the neighborhood, which makes it very easy and accessible for everybody living in the neighborhood. Now, as we approach right into the Mount Pleasant area, this is basically one of the first primary areas in this neighborhood to be built. Obviously, it encompasses the GO train station, which is right on our right hand side here. There's a lot of areas still to be developed. As you can see on our right, there's open land there. There's also a crane on the other side. They're starting to build a mid-rise tower as well right beside the GO train station, so it makes it easily accessible to those people who wish to purchase in that new development. Okay, so here we are in the Mount Pleasant area, Soon we'll be approaching the Mount Pleasant Go. As we kind of drive through this area, you'll notice the style of homes. You'll also notice ahead of us is a Mount Pleasant Community Center, which also involves a public school as well, and the Mount Go train station, which will be shortly on our right hand side, which makes it very convenient for anybody living in the area. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the beautiful Mount Pleasant area, and straight ahead is the Mount Pleasant Go. So this is the Go train station that runs from Brampton all the way downtown Toronto. So this is your accessibility line that gets you right downtown. Now this area is a beautiful area. It's very quaint. It's basically left in its own little realm. And what I mean by that is there's only so many accessibility ways inside Mount Pleasant, so it does have its own small community of its own. Now on your right hand side here, that's another form of multi-living. Okay, so you have the residential upstairs, the commercial on the bottom. So again, this is multi-use purpose, and these are very convenient to have if you are interested in, say, starting up a business. Now these multi-purpose units, they tend to range in the $900 to $1 million range, and they can have anywhere from square footage of 2,500 to 3,000 square feet. Now as you can see, this area is quite pleasant. The sun sets in the west, which is what's pretty awesome about this area is you do get the beautiful sunshine in the evening. So for anybody that is looking for a property in this area, you might want to have, depending on where you want to be in the evening, if it's the living room that you want on the west hand side, you might actually get a beautiful sunset. So now we're just going to take you on the other side of the tracks, which basically will show you the front facing of the Mount Pleasant Go area, and as well the new developing building that they're starting to establish, some of the open land, and some of which is going to be zoned as commercial. So this bridge right here, they actually just recently constructed this train pass, if you will, so that traffic can flow underneath quite smoothly, and it is a great help because sometimes you can get stuck at the train waiting for them to pass, and these tracks don't only just service GO trains, but they also service your other trains as well, like your Via Rails, as well as your large scale industrial size trains. Okay, so this is the front-facing side of the GO train station. As you can see, there is tons of land available still. Likely is the GO train station will reserve some land for a larger parking lot area, as this GO train station is very busy and it can fill up not only just the parking lot but also the street. Okay, so now we're just heading west on Bovaird Drive. And as you can see, the crane on the right hand side, which is where the mid-sized building is going up, directly in front of the GO train station, and plenty of land of which we have lots of development happening. And just across here is where they'll be doing some commercial development as well, and additional to that will be additional residential. So this again is the Mount Pleasant Go area, and it is obviously up and coming, and there is a lot of development left over to do. So I just wanted to remind you all that this is going to be one of the bigger development areas of Brampton, of course, because of the land that's available. And as I explained before, there is also in the works a mall going in, which is just right behind the Apple factory. Here is where they initially had planned the zoning area, and as well the Western Corridor Highway, which will be happening just on the left hand side here where all the fields are, and this is where they're actually looking right now. Alright, so that pretty much concludes our tour of the Brampton Mount Pleasant GO train station and Mount Pleasant community. I hope that you did enjoy our tour today, and I will leave you at farewell, and thanks again for watching as we drive into the sunset and the beautiful west side of Brampton.
Okay, so Brampton West, Northwest, again, borderline Georgetown and Caledon region. You got your mid-rise buildings coming up. You got your detaches, semi-detaches, town dominium, urban towns. You got your Mount Pleasant Go. You got your Mount Pleasant area. You also got your parks and your interconnected pathways. You got your schools for anybody looking to start a family or has one. You also got proposed highways, proposed mall. Western Corridor Highway could be very convenient, also great for value of property. Again, lots of land to be developed in this area, lots of development coming. If you guys have any questions that you'd like to know about, if there's any developments you're interested in, you can always feel free to reach out to me. You can leave a post in the comments. I'll also leave information in the description on how to get a hold of me. Again, my name is Nate Swaby with CasaTank Realty and Swaby Estates. Happy hunting, guys. Keep an open mind.